Good evening and welcome to Primetime News, coming to you live and direct from the Newsfirst studios here in Colombo. I'm Bandon Maha Sangha. Let's now take a look at headlines.
Showers continue. Landslide and flood warnings issued. Company that imported waste material do not have a license for hazardous waste. Central Environmental Authority says legal action will be taken. Governor of the Central Province challenges Karujai Surya for an open debate. Indictment served against 10 accused, including Arjun Aloysius over the CBSL bond scam. Attorney General requests to issue warrants against Arjuna Mahendran. 31,500 police officers to be promoted.
Fisheries associations point out that about 43 fishing vessels have been stranded in the rough seas due to strong winds.
This was revealed after a few vessels that set sail were contacted from the Thalwila Maravilla Communication Centre. The fishing vessels had set sail from the Negombo, Dikkovita and Trincomalee fisheries harbours. The owner of the vessel, Pushparajani 10, said that according to the fishermen on board the vessel, it was damaged due to the strong winds and currents. The boat has been damaged due to the strong winds and currents in the area. The boat cannot move forward. It's difficult, so we requested the vessel to return to shore. Issuing a warning, the Department of Fisheries has requested all sailing vessels to dock at the nearest and safest country. We have informed the government of Maldives and obtained their approval to dock all vessels near the coast of Maldives. We obtained approval to dock more than 20 vessels. We have already informed them to dock all vessels at ports located in India or the Maldives. 2 girls, both 12 years of age, were killed when they were carried away by strong currents in Agarapatana. The victims, named Mathiyalagan Lakshmi and Mathiyalagan Sangeeta, were students of the Torrington Tamil School. Meanwhile, the body of an individual who was reported missing after shops in the Ginigathena town were destroyed in a landslide was found this morning. The body was found following a search operation launched by the police, Sri Lanka Army and residents of the area. Owing to the prevailing downpours in the central hills, a part of the Ginigathena Kandy main road was hit by a landslide at about 2 this morning, destroying a 2-storied shopping complex which consisted of 10 shops. A man was killed after a tree collapsed onto him due to strong winds while he was riding his motorcycle. Several houses were also damaged due to the inclement weather in the area. The Met Department says that strong winds in the coastal area and thunder showers in the Sabaragamuwa, central, western, southern and northwestern provinces may continue. Rainfall of 100 millimeters can be expected in the central and Sabaragamuwa provinces, while rainfall above 50 millimeters can be expected in the Kaluthara, Gaul and Mathura districts. Strong gusty winds of up to 70 to 80 kilometers per hour are likely over the island, particularly in the western, southern, central, Sabaragamuwa, northwestern and north-central provinces and in the Trincomalee district, while strong gusty winds of up to 50 to 60 kilometers per hour can be expected elsewhere.
The cargo ship named Sri Lanka Glory that washed ashore last evening is still at the seas of Rumasala Gaul. The Marine Environment Protection Authority says that the marine resources in the area are at stake.
A ship transporting cargo at the Gaul harbour named Sri Lanka Glory was anchored in the seas off the Gaul harbour last evening. Strong winds and rough seas in the area had set the ship adrift and it washed up on the shores of Rumasala Gaul. The Sri Lanka Navy managed to save all personnel on board. This evening, a member of the Gamadda team visited the location to look into the situation. This area is home to some important resources including the Rumasala Sanctuary, the Bona Vista corals and many other valuable natural resources. UNESCO has named this area as a World Heritage. This ship has washed ashore into such an important location. The General Manager of the Marine Environmental Protection Authority, Professor Tony Pradeep Kumara, inspected the ship today and said that the corals in the area have been put at risk as the ship is in close proximity to them. This is an area that is close to the coral reefs. The ship is in contact with the ocean bed and it rests on that rock. The ship contains about 10 to 15 tons of diesel. If these oil tanks are damaged, there is a risk of this diesel spilling into the sea and damaging the marine resources here. The prevalent weather conditions has made the removal of the ship from this area quite difficult. Steps are being taken to assess the damage that was caused to the environment and initiate the necessary legal proceedings. This is an Indian ship used by a Sri Lankan company. We have collected all information regarding this company. We have discussed with the local representative of this company and notified them to remove the ship from this area without harming the shore. If the damage to the environment in the area is further aggravated, the Marine Environmental Protection Authority will take legal steps against this. The Navy media spokesperson spoke to us on the current condition of this ship. It is reported that this ship contains about 15 tons of diesel. The Navy are monitoring the removal of the ship from the area and other possible harm that can be caused to the environment in the area.
During media briefing today, State Minister of Maha Development and Environment Ajith Manam Peruma was questioned by journalists regarding the importation of containers laden with garbage to Sri Lanka.
මේ වගේ දෙයක් කළා නම් මට මෙහෙම එළියේ ඉඳගෙන ඔබතුමාත් එක්ක මෙහෙම කතා කරන්න හම්බෙන්නේ නැහැ
නෑ ඔබතුමාට අද කතා කරන්න පුළුවන් හෙට කතා කරන්න බෑ හෙට අරන් යනවා කූඩුවට නමුත් අද මේකට නීතිය ක්‍රියාත්මක වෙනකල් ඔබතුමාට මාත් එක්ක කතා කර කර හිටියේ
ඔය කියන්නේ 102 ගෙනාපු කන්ටර් 102 ගෙනාපු
අනිවාර්යයෙන් නීතිය රැහැනට අවශ්‍ය නීති රීති පොත්පත් නීති රීති අනුව කටයුතු කරනවා ඒක කියන්නේ ඒ නීති රීති ක්‍රියාත්මක කිරීමේදී සාධාරණ කාලයක් තියෙනවා දැන් අපිට අපිටම මිනි මාරුමක් කරා කියමුකෝ අද හන්දෑවට එන්න
අපි කියන්නේ ඒක උසාවි දාලා ඒ වරද වෙලා ඒක නීතිය දඬුවම පස්සේ නමුත් මේ නීති විරෝධී වැඩක් නේ කරලා තියෙන්නේ
පළවෙනිම දේ තමයි ශනිකව ක්‍රියා.
The immediate action that was taken in these containers were not released from the port. Next, we will order these companies to send the containers back to where they brought them from. We won't allow this garbage to be destroyed in the country as well. We are not going to confiscate them. The third step is to punish these people under the law.
කරන්න දෙන්නෙත් නැහැ මේක රාජසන්තක කරන්නේ නැහැ තුන්වෙනි පියවර තමයි ඒ අර කිව්ව වගේ නීති රීති අනුව ඔහුට දෙන්න තියෙන උපරිම දඬුවම දෙනවා.
මේ ප්‍රශ්නේ තියෙන්නේ ඇයි මේව ගෙනාපු වකිවියුත්තෝ එළියේ ඉන්නේ මෙච්චර දවස්.
එළියේ මං කියන්නේ එළියේ ඉන්න දෙන්නේ නැහැ.
එතන මොකක්ද රහස?
නෑ නෑ ඒ කිසිම රහසක් නැහැ. එළියේ ඉන්න දෙන්නේ නැහැ. ඒ කියන්නේ මේ නීතිය අනුව දැන් අපි
දේශපාලන බලයද නැත්නම් මුදල් බලයද සමාගම් බලයද මොකක්ද හේතු?
මේ රටේ දේශපාලන බලයක් නැහැයි කියන එක ඒක කිසිම දේශපාලන බලයක් අධිකරණයට යොදවන්නේ නැහැ.
කවුද මේව ගෙනත් තියෙන කියලා කියන්න පුළුවන්ද ඔබතුමාට?
මට ඒ දැනුම නැහැ. දැනට අපි තියෙනවා වරාය තුල කන්ටේනර් දෙක තියෙන නම් මම අහලා දැනගත්තා.
ඒ කියන්නේ ඔබතුමාලා ඒව හොයලා බලලවත් නැහැනේ.
නෑ හොයලා බලලා තමයි මේ කියන්නේ.
ඉතින් ඔබතුමා දන්නේ නැහැනේ.
ඉතින් දන්නේ නැහැ කියන්නේ ඉතින් මේකනේ දැන් අදාළ පරීක්ෂණ කරමින් පවතින වෙලාවකනේ මේ වෙලාව. ඒව එළියට ඇදලා මොනවද මේකේ තියෙන්නේ මොනවද මේවල තියෙන්නේ කියලා පරීක්ෂණ කරමින් පවතින අවස්ථාවක් මේක.
ප්‍රමාදයි නේද?
අර සරත් පොන්සේකව හිරේ දැම්මා වගේ තමයි එහෙමනම් කණෙන් ඇදගෙන ගිහිල්ලා කරන්න ඕනේ. එහෙම වල් නීතියක් අපේ රටේ අපි ස්ථාපිත කරනට කැමති නෑනේ යම් දෙයක්.
ඒකනේ ඔබතුමාලා ගාණ්ඩුව ගෙනාවේ.
ඉතින් ඒක තමයි.
අපිට නම් පුදුම මේ 102ද කියන එක නෙමෙයි. කොහොමද මේ නීතිය අමුමුවේ කඩලා මෙහෙම එළියට කියලා.
ඉතින් හරි වැඩි කල්යන්නේ නැහැ ඔය බලන්න. නීතිය ක්‍රියාත්මක වෙයි.
හැමතුමා ඒක නෙමෙයි ප්‍රශ්නේ. දැන් ඔබතුමා දන්නේ නැහැ නඩුම ගන්න මේව ගෙනා පුද්ගලයවත් කවුද කියලා. දැන් ඒක ඇහුවාම අපි ඔබතුමා කියවන්නේ දන්නේ නැහැ කියලා.
අපි ආරක්ෂා කරන්නේ පරිසරය. පුද්ගලයව නෙමෙයි. ඒක මම වග කියනවා. කිසිම කෙනෙකුට රින් ගන්න දෙන්නේ නැහැ.
Meanwhile, the Central Environmental Authority issuing a media release stated that Haley's Free Trade Zone Limited, which is located in Zone C of the Katunayaka Free Trade Zone, had imported this consignment of garbage. The Central Environment Authority also pointed out that this company does not possess an environmental permit or a permit to import hazardous waste material. During the last few days, Newsfirst reported that 130 containers laden with garbage have been piled up at the premises of a private company inside the Katunayaka Free Trade Zone. Another 102 garbage containers currently held by customs are placed at the Colombo International Container Terminal in the Colombo port. A communique issued under the signature of the Director General of the Central Environmental Authority, or the CEA, Hemanta Jayasinghe, has stated that the garbage is being stored in an unsafe environment. Officials of the CEA who inspected the site discovered that liquid and solid waste piled up at the location is being released into the environment. According to the CEA, 27,685 tons of waste has been piled up at the site over an area that spans across 50,000 square feet. The CEA said that orders have been issued to send the garbage back to the country from which they were imported from, as hazardous waste cannot be imported into the country according to the National Waste Management Policy. The communique issued by the Director General of the CEA also notes that the company has been strictly warned against importing such garbage in the future. It added that as the company did not possess the required permits to import the garbage, legal action will be taken under the National Environmental Act. The CEA further stated that this area inside the Katunayaka Free Trade Zone had been used for entrepot trade, involving import, minor processing and re-export under a gazette issued on the 11th of July 2013. Meanwhile, the head of the company responsible for clearing this consignment of garbage made this revelation to Newsfirst today. Generally, when an importer's cargo comes to the port, they can't clear it alone. They have to definitely do it through a company like ours. So it's a company like ours that have the required permits from the port and the customs. We provide that service.
රේගුවේ බලපත්‍ර තියෙන්නේ. එතකොට අපි කරන්නේ ඒ සර්විස් එක.
එතකොට දැන් පහුගිය දවස්වල කුණු කන්ටේනර් 250ක් වගේ ප්‍රමාණයක් ලංකාවට ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා. එතකොට මේ සියල්ල ක්ලියර් කරන්න කටයුතු කරලා ඔබතුමාගේ ආයතනය.
250ක් නෙවෙයි මගේ මතකයේ හැටියට 130ක් වගේ ප්‍රමාණයක් තමයි ක්ලියර් වෙලා තියෙන්නේ.
හරි ඒ 100 ඒ කුණු කන්ටේනර් ප්‍රමාණය ක්ලියර් කරන පාර්ට් එක කරේ සයින් ලොජිස්ටික්ස් ආයතනය හරහා. ඉතින් ඔබතුමා සේවාව සපයන්නේ තවත් ආයතනයකට. මහරනේ.
ඔව්.
එතකොට ඒ ආයතනයට මේ වැරද්ද සම්බන්ධ නොවි කෙලිම ඔබතුමාගේ ආයතනය කොහොමද උඩට මතුවෙන්නේ?
සාමාන්‍යයෙන් අර රේගුවේ අපි දාන රේගු සටහන් කරේ අපිට අපේ ඵලයලා ඉන්නේ. එතකොට අපේ නමත් ඒ රේගු ආයතනේ තියෙනවා. ඒ සටහන් කරේ වදින නිසා මං හිතන්නේ මාව හොයාගෙන එනවා.
කුණු කන්ටේනර් එකක් ගෙනල්ලා මම දන්නේ නැහැ කියන එක ඔබතුමාට ගැලවෙන්න බෑ. මේක අපරාධ වරදක්. ඔබතුමාට කොයි වෙලාවකවත් ගැලවෙන්න බෑ. මම මේක දන්නේ නැහැ කියලා.
ඒ ශ්‍රී ලංකා රේගුවටවත්
The cargo is sent to the relevant companies even without being inspected by customs officials, so we don't see with our own eyes what the cargo inside these containers are. We calculate the duties that should be paid according to the documents that have been sent and work on clearing the cargo from the ports. These containers were brought in the name of a certain company, but that company is also supplying a service. There is another company that they are working for. That company is the true owner of the cargo. So Haley's was only providing a service. I was providing a service to Haley's.
ඒගොල්ලෝ සර්විස් එකක් කරේ හේලිස් එකක්. මමත් හේලිස් එකට සර්විස් එකක් කරේ.
එතකොට හේලිස් ආයතන සම්බන්ධන තුන්වෙනි පාර්ශවයේ කවුද?
ඇත්තටම මම දන්නේ නැහැ.
I really don't know who it is, as it does not concern me. I clear about 600 to 700 containers or even more than that every month for Haley's.
ඊටත් වැඩි ප්‍රමාණයක් තමයි හේලිස් එකෙන් ක්ලියර් වෙනවා.
Importing garbage into the country is a crime. Will the law be implemented against the people who imported this garbage consignment? The people are watching.
Welcome back to the news. In more local news, 9 senior superintendents of police have been promoted to the rank of Deputy Inspector General. The promotions were granted based on the scores during the interviews with the approval of the National Police Commission.
Senior Superintendent of Police WSE Jayasundara, KVDAG Karavita, SWM Sinaratna, UPADKP Karunanayaka, TCA Dhanapala and PHMB Sirivardhana have been promoted to the rank of Deputy Inspector General with effect from the 1st of February this year. PKD Priyantha, NLC Sampath Kumara and MN Sisira Kumara have been promoted to the rank of Deputy Inspector General with effect from the 2nd of July this year. Meanwhile, during a discussion between President Maithripala Sirisena and senior police officers, attention was drawn towards the promotion of 31,500 police officers who had not received promotions for an extended period of time. The promotion of 31,500 police constables to the rank of police inspector was discussed during the meeting. The President's media division said welfare activities of police officers in lower grades and the shortcomings within the police service were also discussed during the meeting. The inclusion of approximately 25,000 police officers who sacrificed their lives during the war into the Apivenuin Api Fund and to provide housing for their family members through the fund was also discussed during the meeting.
The Attorney General today requested the Permanent High Court trial at bar hearing the case filed over the Central Bank bond scam to issue a warrant against the first suspect, former Governor of the Central Bank, Arjuna Mahendran.
The Attorney General has filed charges against 10 defendants, including former Governor, at the Permanent High Court trial at bar. Judges Sampath Abekon, Sampath Vijayaratna and Champa Janaki Rajaratna are the members of the bench hearing the case. 7 defendants of the case were present in court today. After indictments were served against the 7 suspects in open court, they were released on a cash bail of 1 million rupees each and 2 surety bails of 2.5 million rupees each. According to the court order, one of the 2 bondsmen for the defendants should be a close relative of his family. The senior additional Solicitor General Priyantha Navana, who appeared on behalf of the Attorney General in court, requested court to issue a warrant against the first suspect of the case, former Central Bank Governor Arjuna Mahendran, as he is absconding court. Additional Solicitor General Navana also requested court to issue notices on the 10th suspect of the case, Ajan Gandhir Punchiheva, who is currently residing in Singapore. Court decided to issue an order on the request on the 24th of this month. The Interpol has already issued blue and red notices for the arrest of former Central Bank Governor Arjuna Mahendran. These steps were taken based on an order issued by the Colombo Magistrates Court. The Additional Solicitor General informed court that as the suspect had not acted according to these orders, steps have been taken to initiate diplomatic dialogue to bring him back to the country under the extradition law. 23 indictments have been filed at the Permanent High Court trial at bar against the 10 accused, former Central Bank Governor Arjuna Mahendran, former Central Bank Deputy Governor P. Samarasiri, Perpetual Treasuries Limited beneficial owner Arjuna Aloysius, PTL CEO Kasun Palisena, Jeffrey Joseph Aloysius, Pushya Gunawardana, Ranjan Hulugalla, Muthuraja Surendra and Ajan Punchiheva.
Governor of the Central Province Maitri Gunaratne expressed these views to the media following an event held in Gurudeniya, Kandy today.
Although Karu Jayasuriya wears a white suit, he has no qualities of a gentleman, and I say that with responsibility. I challenge Karu Jayasuriya to come for a debate at any time, and I will point out the number of times he had betrayed the people for minor advantages. There is no need for a person to do things like this. I don't want to express an opinion on Karu Jayasuriya. He is not a person suitable for this. He does not even have a single quality of a gentleman.
State Minister Ranjan Ramanayake today met with the Maha Sangha headed by the Mahanayaka of the Malwatu chapter of the Siam sect.
මං කරපු යම් කිසි ප්‍රකාශයකින් ගෞතම මහා සංඝරත්නයේ සිල්වත් ස්වාමීන් වහන්සේලාට කිසියම් හෝ හිත්‍රිදීමක් කනගාටුවක් හිත්‍රිදීමක් සිත් ඇවුලක් ඇති වුණා මම මේකට ප්‍රසිද්ධිය සම්මාවිලනවා ගෞතම මහා සංඝරත්නයේ.
The 218th model village constructed in Matale under the Samata Sevena Yali Pibidinu Dagamana housing program was vested in the public today.
The village named Maharavanagama is located in Vilgamua, Naminigama in Matale. The model village was vested with the public under the auspices of Deputy Leader of the United National Party, Minister Sajid Premadasa. The event was attended by a large crowd. This model village consists of 21 housing units, while its construction cost approximately 17.6 million rupees. Some claim that the Udagammana housing program is not required. They say the construction of model villages for the less privileged is nothing but a waste. As an individual who follows democratic principles, I request you to raise your hands if you think the Udagammana program is a waste and the distribution of land is not good. No one raised their hands. We can clearly see that no one raised their hands. I request you to raise hands if you think that the Udagammana housing program is good and sets an example to those who support nepotism.
You have a very successful journey ahead of you. You are surrounded by people and their support. I request all members of the UNP to refrain from creating issues and to be united as one when making decisions. If we do so, no one can stop us from emerging victorious. Minister Sajid Premadas's victory is certain as the sun and the moon.
The annual convocation of the Bandon ICA Centre for International Studies was held at the Bandon ICA in Colombo today.
The event was attended by several distinguished guests, including UN Resident Coordinator in Sri Lanka, Maha Sangha, and former President Chandrika Bandaranaike Kumaratunga. The BCIS newsletter was also launched in line with the event. This event, however, was delayed for over an hour as the chief guest, former President Chandrika Bandaranaike Kumaratunga, did not attend the event at the scheduled time. A participant at the event voiced his displeasure over the delay in the proceedings.
This is a convocation. There should be time management to inspire the graduates. This is not a gathering. Ridiculous management. I saw the management staff. The chief guest cannot come on time. He can't be the chief guest. We was come at 2 o'clock. Now it's 20 past 3. This is the state of the country.
Day of the fourth phase of the Gum at the Door-to-Door initiative. Our teams currently deployed in 3 districts will visit the people to document their myriad of unheard and unheeded issues.
Gum at the Gain Getter.
Farming is the main livelihood of people residing in the Galevilla Divisional Secretariat of the Mathale district. Due to the lack of a proper pricing mechanism, these villagers have been forced to abandon their cultivation activities. This is Ratnayaka, who we met in Pattivela. Ratnayaka is a farmer who was forced to abandon his pumpkin and tomato cultivations. Among the several issues faced by locals in the Bulneava-Devahuva village in Galevilla is an unidentified disease that devastates their crops. Locals charge that this disease has destroyed approximately 500 acres of cultivation. Although authorities were informed of this matter several times, no steps have been taken to address this issue. Another Gum at the Door-to-Door team visited the Serupitia village in southern Kaluthara. The main issue these villagers face is the lack of drinking water facilities. The Serupitia village, which belongs to the Dorangoda Divisional Secretariat, provides shelter to nearly 400 families. The team then visited locals residing near the Kalido coastal belt. Fishing is their main source of income. However, due to sea erosion, these locals are compelled to dock their fishing boats on the main road. Another Gum at the Door-to-Door team visited the locals residing in the 4th Division in Nagadeepa, Jaffna. Among the many difficulties they face, the lack of drinking water and housing facilities top the list. Locals of the Analathive Island are also facing the same fate. The Gum at the Door-to-Door teams will visit the people in the Mathale, Kaluthara and Jaffna districts tomorrow as well.
Gum at the Gain Getter.
A panel discussion under the theme Progress as a Nation, How Sri Lanka Can Move Forward as a Nation was organised by the Ceylon Chamber of Commerce in Colombo last evening.
The eminent panel included several industry experts from various fields. During the event, the Governor of the Central Bank, Dr. Indrajit Kumaraswamy, expressed the following views.
At the time of independence, we were second to Japan on just about every socio-economic indicator in Asia. We've fallen well behind. From an economic point of view, there is macroeconomic stress. We have not been able to manage our affairs very well. Often the budget hasn't been managed very well, and constantly we have had high inflation, balance of payments crisis, etc. The second thing is the inability to build a national Sri Lankan identity.
The Governor also made the following remarks regarding the proposed changes to the Monetary Policy Act.
There's a new Monetary Law Act that's being brought forward, which in first instance puts this flexible inflation targeting regime to run a monetary policy which will get us out of these repeating cycles of macroeconomic stress. And as part of that, if Parliament approves it, the central bank will be prevented from printing money. That is, to buy treasury bills from the government and give the government money. This is the most damaging thing you can do, and we've done it repeatedly. And if we are able to convince our political masters, then that will be prevented by law. That will be a landmark change in terms of establishing macroeconomic stability in this country. I hope we're able to go through with it.
An economic forum was held yesterday which focused on fast-tracking the economic growth.
During the keynote address, Howard Nicholas spoke about the theory of free trade and how it affects countries.
This is a theory taught by rich countries to poor countries to get the poor countries to do what the rich countries want them to do. And then the theory tells us if you do that and we do what we are good at, we exchange our goods, we'll all benefit and grow rapidly and so on. This is garbage. I'm sorry, this is utter garbage. You know, you can't even waste 2 minutes debating it because it's so riddled with theoretical and empirical flaws, plus hypocrisy. The hypocrisy is that whenever it has suited the advanced countries, they don't liberalize trade in that area. Okay, so they simply protect their markets when it suits them. So they don't believe in free trade.
Following the event, a panel discussion was held and Executive Director of Verite Research spoke about the role of the government in developing the country.
And when we think about infrastructure, we think about ports, we think about roads. But I think there's an element of what we call not hard infrastructure, but soft infrastructure. That's also critical. And in Sri Lanka, I think the challenge is the soft infrastructure. So one problem in that soft infrastructure, if I take a road analogy, is the government must get rid of the speed bumps that are stopping you from moving along. And I think Sri Lanka is at that point where we are complaining about our politicians, we are not complaining about the administrative capability and efficiency of our bureaucracy.
The statement made by Professor Howard Nicholas on the free trade agreements is well accepted. While we respect the statement made by Professor Howard Nicholas, there are others who use public platforms to profound dubious agreements with other nations that will amount to threatening our sovereignty. Such experts, who in fact call themselves experts, would do well to remember that the speed bumps they refer to are the politicians themselves. The sooner that they are removed, the better it will be for the country. Perhaps this self-proclaimed expert has presidential ambitions himself and is so dependent on the funds that upkeep his NGO that he will soon be required to sing for his supper. We will await the expected Twitter warriors to now go to work. We would also like to remind them that we will then be forced to respond with more information.
Sri Lanka registered another impressive win against Asian rivals Singapore in their final game at the Netball World Cup 2019. Sri Lanka ended their campaign with a 78-57 win to finish 15th overall.
The Netball World Cup is being played in Liverpool, England, and the match to decide on the 16th and 15th World Netball Rankings was held today. Sri Lanka took on Singapore in that match. The Sri Lankan netball team beat the Singaporean team by 78 points to 57. Previously, Sri Lanka beat Singapore 88 to 50. Sri Lanka lost their first 3 matches of the Netball World Cup 2019. However, Tharjini Sivalingam shot 77 goals, renewing her own record for the most number of goals in a match at this edition of the World Cup. She leads the points table with an astounding 348 points. That's 100 points ahead of second place Jania Fowler, who has 235 points.
We are happy that we won this match. I have recorded the highest number of goals as of now. I am happy about what I have achieved. I thank everyone who supported me.
With that, we wrap up Primetime News. I'm Bernadine Singha. Good night. Take care.